Every time that I can think of that I have found myself in a way, in a position to where I wasn't sure where to turn, every time I have prayed for a sign to point me in the right direction, and every time, those prayers have been answered. Whether it be as subtle as a random act of kindness that turns one's day completely around, such as a random stranger happening by with a friendly nod that reminds you of some offhand thing that leads you to what you are seeking, or one of your clair senses, such as a random or a hint of fragrance on a breath of wind, or an out-of-place taste on the tip of your tongue. Most messages are clear and some are harder to see, especially if you're looking for them. Mine first came as a simple number. My lucky number. This story is one of many, this one was one of the more in my face, here is where you are, signs. I am sharing this story in hopes to make someone smile, to make someone believe what their heart knows is true. The good, the bad and the in-between of unseen, unspoken, unacknowledged flipside of upside down, between the folds of light and shadow, just where they meet. Somewhere in the middle of dusk and just before dawn. Where time meets space. Thought meets matter, and life meets motion. Don't ever give up on yourself no matter what, life is grand if you're looking at it at the right angle, and if you let love out and let it return.
There's a war going on, right in front of our faces, and we are too blind to see. A spiritual war, for our souls. We are too blind and distracted by the powers that be. They start their magic in hypnotizing, brainwashing and conditioning us while we are so young. The powers in charge of how we think and what we think we know. What we are taught to know and how to think. The media and news we get is a controlled source. It's spell casting from Black Mirrors. Spells cast from your TV from a newscast or daily broadcast. What if I told you that angels and demons are real? What if I said that magic is real, spell casting is real? Curses from our written cursive. Jinxes. Charms, hexes, vexes, enchantments, incantations and blessings. We learn how to use spelling for spells. We are witches and we never even knew it. Words are like swords, only the S is moved. Our right to write sentences, so please complete each sentence in class because completing a sentence in jail could kill you, not heal you. Be sure to use the proper terms in words before your prison terms. You'll serve in wards, prison wards, we don't even know that we are serving. Dark magicians hold us in check. But some of us wake up. Some of us become targets. It is a spiritual war to break us or make us, a war that's been waging for our souls, since the illuminated one fell from the heavens onto this great earth, to mislead, torment and destroy. They are the fallen ones, he and his followers, all fathers of the Nephilim, akin to the children of Cain, serpent father and betrayer of brother.
After you.
Thank you.
When I was a kid, I could see things. Things humans aren't supposed to see. Things you shouldn't have to see.
Two.
My parents were normal. They did what most parents would do. They made it worse. The last place they sent me was run by the church. Reverend Father decided I was possessed.
And in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Judge, and in the power of the Holy Spirit, be gone and stay from this foul creature of God, for it is He who commands you, He who
When I came back, I knew all the things I could see were real. Heaven and hell are right here, behind every wall, every window. The world behind the world, and we're smack in the middle. Angels and demons can't cross over onto our plane. The influence peddlers. They can only whisper in our ears, but a single word could give you courage, or turn your favorite pleasure into your worst nightmare. Those with the demon's touch, like those part angel, living alongside us. They call it the balance.
I guess God has a plan for all of us.
To start this story, let me build the base. I was 1 year deep in Hermetic, religious and cultural study. I was on a spiritual path to find myself. I succeeded in figuring out who I am, but was more confused to my purpose. My life's purpose. Something felt out of place, almost as if I had forgotten something. I was certainly missing my family back home, but this was different. This feeling overcame me. A strong urge to help people out of dark situations, to guide them. To help them face their demons. But in order to do this I had to learn to look for them without fear, and the things that linger in the dark are just that, fear. I needed to find my way to God. I needed protection. It seemed that the closer to God I grew, the more problems I ran into. This is true as you will find as you find your own way, whichever path you chose. The more like Jesus you become, the more the world will hate you, as he says in scripture. In John, which seems to be the book I find at the end of every spiritual endeavor that I've undergone thus far. It always leads me to John and to Revelations. In John 15:18-20 it reads, 18. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. 19. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. 20. Remember what I told you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also. So, you see, there is a hidden war on this planet, a war for our souls. Unseen and under the radar. A spiritual war. These problems I would encounter were usually in the form of people problems. People, usually for no reason that you know of and completely out of character, acting and speaking with contempt, hate, envy or even sometimes jealousy and judging others for anything and everything they can think of, whether it be true or not, assassinating their character, destroying their way of life. The victims a lot of times will go crazy and lose their minds. They are known as TIs. Targeted individuals. They lose their friends, the love and support of a lot of their family. Usually their job, their car, their home. These demons will stop at nothing to see one of God's people lose it all. Their ultimate goal is to break their spirit completely. They are good at turning people against each other. They partake in a form of harassment known as gang stalking, Jesuits who take everything you have and then condemn you for what they have others believing. For what? Jealousy of what they see. What they most times do know and see is the light in you, but will hide the darkness in themselves for trying to hinder your shine.
It is in my beliefs that they become partly possessed by other entities or at the least, influenced by them. Remember, demons don't attack a soulless vessel, burglars don't rob an empty house. You can see it in their eyes and the way they carry themselves. Windows to the soul they say. And to whom is in the driver's seat? People are used like puppets if the hearts aren't right, or if they aren't right with God, especially if they are under the influence of drugs or alcohol. As I have explained in one of my previous videos, a good way to explain this is the old studies of alchemies. See my video on the fetish curse.
Side note. The word alcohol was derived from the Arabic term al-ghul, which means a body-eating spirit and is another term for ghul, as in a ghost or spirit. We call some alcoholic drinks spirits. It's made from fermentation, which is essentially rot. In alchemy, alcohol is used to extract the essence of a mineral, essence meaning as in soul. So, drinking basically extracts your soul. Alchemy has three main parts that make us who we are. The three primes, also known as alchemist Paracelsus Tria Prima, they are sulfur, mercury, and salt. Sulfur being our spirit, mercury being our mental mind, and salt being our physical body. A easier way to look at it is, sulfur, our spirit selves, are controlling salt, our physical bodies, using our mercury, our mind, as the steering wheel. After drinking alcohol, you become tethered to your physical body while you leave the driver's seat open for neighboring entities to take it for a spin. In an easier term, it can make you become possessed. People often black out and don't remember much after consuming too much alcohol. Some turn mean and can be abusive and even dangerous. We call this the consumptive spirit.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 chill. Chill, whoa. Hey, she's probably fucking possessed. No, she's probably just...
What the fuck you doing?
Perdoa as nossas ofensas, como nós perdoamos nossos pecadores. Não nos deixei cair em tentação, mas livrai do mal. Amém. Você não é poderoso. Você não é poderoso. Jesus, Deus está...
Possessed people are used to basically gang stalk the ride of heart, they don't even realize it and never will unless they find their way. You can point them in the right direction, but it will be them, themselves who wake up. The closer to God the brighter your light aka your aura. Some of us are like lighthouses. A beacon. So be prepared for the battles, because it attracts evil and broken people. Careful of whom you trust and help though, some are tricky and can't even enter a blessed home without permission. Trust in God but don't get cocky, you're still only human. Remember always the words you say have meaning and effects and take on a life of their own. The energy you project has effects on those who are around you and causes chain reactions. Your words are essentially magic because they are sound, which is vibration, energy. Everything we know of in this physical world is made of the same energy, all matter is vibrating, know your words and what they mean. As it says in the beginning of John 1:1 in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Once you realize the meaning of these words and that your words are basically spells, incantations, once you wake up to this, you are well on your way, but always remember, let love out and let love return. After much thought and finding out that life is full of hardships, especially if you're finding your way to God, I have learned to accept my fate and keep faith. That being said, make the best of what you have and turn the other cheek to those who want to take away from you what you've earned. Remember what Jesus said as he spent 72 hours dying on the cross for us, forgive them Father, for they know not what they do.
Jesus was fully awake to what most can't see in their cognitive dissonance. Don't set back and let them run you over, but don't let them ruin your happy. It's not their life, it's yours, so be happy, smile. If you can't smile then keep looking until you find a reason.